Well, 2014 is almost in the books, and it's been filled with highs, many of them closing highs for the major indexes, and lows like plummeting crude oil prices. But that wasn't all that happened this year in the world of business. The economy and the job market hit a number of milestones as well. The healthcare sector dominated deal making, recalls roiled the auto business, and a Chinese e-commerce company called Alibaba became the biggest IPO ever. Tonight, we look back on 2014, the year that was. With the Dow notching record highs more than 30 times and the S&P about 50, the bull market is now more than 5 years old. But 2013's perpetual push upward bumped into an old acquaintance late this year: volatility. From mid-September to mid-October, stocks dropped more than 7%. In November, stocks bounced back up to new highs. But in December, there was another slide. Stock prices wavered just as the Federal Reserve prepared to end its economic stimulus program. Talk of the taper hung over the markets like a cloud a year ago. Now, it's still about the Fed, but the question is when it will begin to push interest rates back up. Can the economy handle higher interest rates? Well, employment numbers are better, but real incomes really aren't, and inflation is still below the Fed's target level of 2%. One reason for that low inflation: an historic drop in the price of oil, down more than 45% from the year's high in June. Why? Well, it is as simple and complex as the law of supply and demand. Supply is up. The U.S. alone has increased production 65% in just 5 years. Demand, though, is decidedly down because the global economy is slowing. Here at home, the drop in oil pushed gas prices down by $1 a gallon and more in some places. Cheaper gas, of course, puts an estimated $100 billion back into the hands of U.S. consumers. That's about $60 a month for the typical household. But is that enough to get them spending again? Money's still tight for most of us. So where is the U.S. finding growth? Companies are still sitting on record piles of cash. Some of that money is staying overseas as the wait for U.S. corporate tax reform lingers on. But there's plenty of money to invest in the latest technologies, and corporate spending is helping to grow the economy. Tech is booming. Silicon Valley is a world leader. Apple's new iPhones are a huge hit. In Seattle, Boeing gets orders for more fuel-efficient jets from all around the globe, and Google expanded in New York City, which is suddenly flush with more than 4 million jobs, the most the Big Apple has ever had.